Hello, everybody. It's Dee and Renee, and yep, I am back. So Dee and I are excited to talk today about all of her fabulous radish recipes. So if you love a radish, give us a thumbs up. So Dee, how are you? How's it been going in the hat?
It's a going. Last couple weeks, Mother Nature is still off her medication, and we've had a foot of rain and hail and sleet, and today we're 85 degrees.
Oh my.
We're 85 Fahrenheit. Yeah, we're just trying to stay in the game here.
Yeah, well, I'm broadcasting today from Las Vegas. And so I have a couple of locations where I come from. And so I just finished my trip to Italy. And if you guys are coming on live, tell us that you are on live. Say hello. #live. If you have been vacationing, tell us a little bit about how that's going. So give us some good comments today, you guys. I've just spent 2 weeks in Italy on the islands of Ischia and Capri. So I have to tell you, Dee, I've ate a lot of pasta, a little bit of pizza, and a lot of veggies. So the one thing that I love over in Italy is tons of fresh veggies. Everything is ripe. Everything's vine ripened. Lots of good stuff, and it's just it revitalizes you and refreshes you and makes you realize how important it is for all of us to eat real food. I mean, as Americans, we tend to want everything quick, everything fast, everything, just pick it up and go. And it's really good to slow down and see how other people do it.
I was dreaming of olives for you. I was wondering.
Oh my God! I need so many olives. So again, another healthy fat that we forget. Although I have to tell you, anytime they serve you like a glass of wine, like in the evening time, we would have a spritz or what have you. They serve potato chips, peanuts, and olives. So of course, it's a little tempting to want to grab those potato chips and peanuts, but when you start eating those olives and realizing this is a healthy fat and it's a good little appetizer. So finding things, especially in phase 4, that you can really incorporate in your lifestyle. So those were all good things. All right, so Dee has created some amazing radish recipes, and I have to tell you, you guys, it's so funny because we've tried all different formats of our show and different, doing themes and all different kinds of stuff, and the shows that really get the most watching is the vegetable shows. I mean, really, your vegetables. Give us a thumbs up, you guys, if you love Dee's vegetable recipes, because they're just, again, talking about real food. I love it. So tell us what we got here, Dee.
So this is just a really simple radish. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this properly, Renee, because I didn't actually Google it, but is it a rata?
I saw that you called it a riata, and honestly, I haven't had time to look it up either. So what is a riata? I thought it was a margarita.
I just know it as a radish yogurt dip. But I went Googling, I went into the land of Google to try to find out what you're really supposed to call it to be authentic. And this is what it's supposed to be called. So what you see pictured is a phase 1 and 2 version for sure. But in phase 3, you can add a cup, and 3 and 4, you can add a cup of full fat yogurt to this existing recipe for your healthy fat, and then to help you scoop that up and enjoy it, you know, as a veggie dip or with some of your IP chips. But just as it is pictured, very simple, very fresh. A little bit of lime flavor comes through, your little bit of olive oil. These are great places to use your flavored olive oils, your infused olive oils in these types of fresh salads. So really, you could use this as a topper for any type of your protein, particularly with fish. You're going to see a little bit more of that today. You could add it as a salad topper. Again, use it as a dip. And yeah, phase 4, you can put that healthy fat in there. So really fresh and simple and delicious. This one has cilantro and meat and grated radish, a little bit of red onion. So yeah, simple, delicious, versatile.
Looks delicious. If you are on here and you want to receive these recipes, they go out every Monday in our newsletter. All you have to do is type in the word newsletter, and you're going to get a 2-step process. All you have to do is say yes, and then you hit the newsletter button, and it will give you the subscription form so that you can sign up to get these amazing recipes. And we, you know what, we also, on deesrecipes.com, we also have a blog where you can go and you can see all of the recipes for the last over a year we have been putting on this show. So remember, every Wednesday, and unfortunately we're a little bit late today, and that's my fault. All right, okay. So what do we got here? We got some tuna, we got some dill.
This is really another really simple radish, middle radish and green onion, and you can use it / topping for your fish, your pork, your poultry. So you can chop up a bowl of this wonderful veggie marinade and take some of it and actually marinate your protein in it, and then prepare it all in one pan or one dish, stovetop or in the oven. I chose tuna just because it is such a fast flash in the pan. And tuna isn't quite as delicate, you know, as your cod or your mahi-mahi, but the flavors pair beautifully because it's still a mild fish. If you enjoy fennel, I would encourage you, the hard stocky part you don't eat, but the bulb and the fronds, so the fronds are what you see on the outside of the plate there, they pair beautifully with radish, very nicely with radish. So fennel and radish, I really like them together. So they're a very nice accompaniment. So the fronds, are those the dill or are those the fennel? That's fennel. Those are fennel fronds that you see there.
Okay. I got that mixed.
Yeah, and then there's dill and fennel and green onion and radish in this marinade. But the cool thing is you make the marinade as a 2-cup bowl of your select veggies with a little bit of seasonings, and then you can use it as a marinade / 1 bowl dish to prepare. So something that you can have made ahead, ready to go for really fast. You wanted to do some barbecuing, you could barbecue your protein, have it warm over that fresh marinade / salad as well. So really multi-purpose. Again, you could also literally throw this just right over a plain lettuce, Boston or Bib or romaine, and it's delicious all on its own. So if you're looking for ways to get some flavorful veggies in there, this one's a good one as well. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So if you are on here and you are live, give us a hashtag live. I want to say hello to our friend Wendy White Stevens. She's coming from Colorado right now. Now, I met her in Texas at a Cinco de Mayo party, but a phase 1 Cinco de Mayo party, by the way, with Sarah Mulero. So tell us, if you're on here, give us a hashtag live. Tell us what you're cooking, what your favorite recipes are. While I was gone in Italy, Dee was broadcasting about peppers and cabbage and had some more fantastic recipes. I'll be throwing up the recipe cards in the next couple of days, but the newsletter did go out, I know, with I think the cabbages, right? The cabbage recipes, I think. So Dee, tell us what's next. Love these biscuits. Okay, so Dee has gone a little bit. Are you there? Dee is, okay, so it's me and the biscuits. We're gonna wait for Dee to come back up here. In the meantime, hi, Cynthia. Tell us a little bit about what your favorite recipes are. I was just talking about how we really get the most play from recipes that are related around vegetables. So one of the things that you learn on phase 1 is how important it is to incorporate 4 cups of veggies in your daily regimen. And one of the big takeaways for me in phase 1, and I did phase 1 back in 2012, is how important that is, and what a big part of my life it has become, because I have to tell you, once I did this program, I never stopped eating my 4 cups of veggies. So yeah, let's have Dee come on back up here. And Dee, are you there? I think she keeps refreshing. So anyway, things I love are, you know, just loving learning about different veggies. Okay, Cynthia says, cut my first celery root and baked for fries today. So did you use an air fryer? I love to use the air fryer. It makes things come out nice and crispy on the outside and good on the inside, and it's super quick. So love that you did the celery root fries. Some of the things that we're going to be talking about today are, this is a radish mash. Does anybody use radish as a potato substitute? Because I have to tell you that the first time I tried it, I was so amazed. And one of the things that I've always enjoyed is my Sunday breakfast was like 2 fried eggs and some radish or potatoes, you know, on Sunday morning. So radishes are like little red potatoes, and actually really, really yummy. Okay, so Cynthia, I don't have an air fryer, so I bake them in the oven. Yeah, they take a little bit longer. I noticed that they take about 45 minutes in the oven, but what I will do is I will put whatever I'm using, whether it's rutabaga or celery root. I've used, seems like there's other things I've used. What do you guys like for potato substitutes? Tell me what that is. Okay, so Cynthia says, I put radishes in the crock pot with a roast. Yes. Aren't you amazed at how they can be a potato substitute, and simple stuff we can do for the rest of our lives. So, you know, that's a lifestyle change that is permanent. I went on, honestly, I tried the Atkins diet when I was about, I don't know, 38 years old, and realized how important the ketogenic diet was for me, because I'm very, instantly insulin resistant. My family had a lot of diabetes in it and hypoglycemia. So I got rid of potatoes, about 20 years ago, and never looked back. And every once in a while I'll, have something, but I tend not to eat potatoes, and I do use them as a, radishes or celery root or turnips, rutabaga. So these guys here are radish chips that Dee put together. And so I know that I've made zucchini chips. I haven't made radish chips yet. Is there anybody out there that's made radish chips? Let us know. Let us know where you're from, and give us a hashtag live. Tell us what your favorite types of recipes are, and how you're incorporating this into your new lifestyle, and how phase 1 is going for you, and how you incorporate all of these recipes. Now, this is a radish goulash, and remember that all of these recipes are coming out on Monday. They will be in the Monday newsletter, and all you have to do is type in the word newsletter. So if you don't already receive our newsletter, just type in the word newsletter, and there will be a 2-step process. You just have to say yes, and then you'll be able to click on the newsletter to get the subscription. This is the ending recipe, and unfortunately I wasn't able to pick up Dee again. She's having some internet problems. So let's just talk for a minute about phase 1 and about vacationing. So I just came off of a vacation where I spent 2 weeks in Italy. And really, of course, when we are going to be vacationing, of course, we want to really enjoy ourselves, right? We want to, we kind of sometimes have that attitude of, well, I'm on vacation, so, what the heck, I'll start when I get back from vacation. And Dee, I am just talking about a little bit about vacation, so I'm going to pop these guys back up here so we can finish talking about them. So I have showed them all, but go ahead and let's talk about this goulash.
So I love a good goulash made with almost any type of vegetable, and a radish one does not disappoint. You could easily make a phase 4 one, but this is a phase 1. I almost want to call it like a loaded goulash. It is done with 4 ounces of ground beef. It is done with 1.5 cups of radish. It's got green onion in there, and it uses the IP mac and cheese. So you got your cheesy flavor in there and your noodles. It is a hearty meal. Now, I chose to protein split this day that I was making this recipe. So I had 4 ounces and 2 cups of vegetables at lunch, and then had an additional 4 ounces at supper time. That is my actual preferred way of using my protein in the day. I know a lot of you are different. I do know that a lot say that 8 ounces is too much. But I also want to remind you that you need to be weighing and measuring your protein sources raw before starting. And so if you actually measure out 4 ounces of extra lean grass-fed beef, it's really not that much to incorporate into a recipe. So just another little plug there for you should be weighing and measuring your food before eating it and not eyeballing it for optimal success. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And, some of the things, if you guys split your protein up, let us know. Yes, I like to split my protein up. Sometimes with my clients, I will say, it's okay to have a boiled egg in between breakfast and lunch. You take off 1.5 ounces of protein at that point, and then maybe you want to do 2 more ounces at lunchtime with your salad, and then the balance of your protein later, and that's perfectly fine. Right, Misty?
Yeah, and you betcha. And you'll often see in a lot of recipes that I do use a whole egg very, very often. And one of the reasons why I do, 1 large egg gives you 1.5 ounces of protein. You can deduct that.
Right. So an egg is 1.5 ounces. Right.
Yeah, a large one. There is a charge if extra large is closer to 2 ounces. If you buy medium, it's 1 ounce. Small is about and I know some of you have seen me write a 0.75 in instructions, and then you go question mark, question mark, question mark. And that is, it's not quite an ounce. If you want to be technical, I write the 0.75 for you in there. So, yeah.
There you go. There you go. So tell us about these. Tell us about these radish chips.
So, we see a lot of veggie chips out there. You can buy a lot of commercially done brands and a lot of commercially ones in chip bags. I don't buy them, so the brand names don't come to the top of my head. But when you flip them over to read the nutritional label, they take a good, healthy veggie and they take all the health out of it. There is more fat and carbs and calories in those healthy veggie chips than there is in your old-fashioned potato chip. So buyer beware, but when you make them at home, you can control that 100%. These radishes were quite large when they started. That's my tip there. You need to buy radishes that are at least 1.5 inches to 2 inches in diameter, or use the daikon radishes. In this case, that are have some girth to them, because they do shrink down quite a bit. So if you are a hungry person, don't make radish chips. If you have a smaller appetite and are having trouble getting your veggies in, make radish chips because they shrink down to a smaller portion. Really simple to make. Rosemary on them, and
so now what is the flavor like in relationship to potatoes? Do they taste like potato chips? Okay, sorry guys, we're having some technical difficulties today, unfortunately. Are you there, Dee? Okay. So we can't really hear you, Dee. So you're cutting in and out.
Oh.
Yeah, we're having trouble with your audio.
Uh-oh.
So anyway, so let's talk about the mash, the radish mash. What I was asking you earlier was, what's the flavoring like from a radish chip to like a potato chip? Okay, guys.
Flavors in there.
All right, so let's go back to talking about travel. So one of the things I think that a lot of times we do is we kind of throw in the towel. Well, I'm on vacation. I've paid for that cruise. I want to get my money's worth. I'm going to go to, all 8 meals. Think about all of the work that you've done, think about yourself, think about your own sense of confidence, how far you've come, the changes you've made in your lifestyle, and keep those while you're on vacation. And I'm not talking about don't have fun, don't, enjoy yourself. When I was in Italy, I ate a lot of veggies, and of course, you know, they have lots of fresh seafood, and so I ate a lot of those things. In addition, when I would eat a pasta or, you know, that type of like a carb or a bread, you know, I was really careful to talk, you know, to really think about and ask about, is this homemade? Is this something that you have made in-house? Because, you know, just like here, we can end up with packaged goods. So if I'm going to eat pasta someplace, it's going to be someplace that made it themselves. And, you know, the great thing about Europe is they do have different standards as far as GMO products and the different types of things, you know, that they do and that they allow. So yes, I did have a few things, but I have to tell you, I walked so much that I came back weighing the same as I left, which is shocking. But it's true, and it can be done, and you can do it. And so I encourage everybody to enjoy their vacations, but enjoy it with balance, and you know, make good choices. When I would have a cocktail in the evening time, I would have a spritz, which is basically a big wine glass that had half Prosecco and half Pellegrino. So really good option. You know, alcohol is fun and all, but it is empty calories and they add up super fast. So if you're going someplace, you know, think about when you're having a glass of wine, you know, maybe cutting it with, maybe making a spritz out of it. You can do that with any kind of a wine. If you're, you know, looking at, you're in phase 4 and you want to have, you know, a drink, take a look at how to do that. Maybe it's a vodka soda and you order it tall so that there's a lot more water and only just a little bit of alcohol, and really making balanced choices. So if you are going to have a dessert, share it with someone, take 1 or 2 bites, that's all you need. You get that little sweet flavor, and then it doesn't, you know, spiral you out of control, out into a place where you can't stop eating, all of those things. So those are just kind of some of the balanced choices that I make on vacation while I am, you know, in maintenance. And if you are on phase 1, it's easy to travel on phase 1. I like to sometimes go into more like a phase 2 with some of my clients. It just depends on, you know, what they're doing, what their plans are. If they're going to be doing a lot of walking and exercising, a lot of times then I'll say, hey, why don't we do more like a phase 2 protocol? You're still in ketosis, you're still you know, in that same, you know, under 35 or right around 35 carbs, net carbs, but, you know, allowing yourself a little more regular food. So 2 meals that are 8 ounces of protein and 2 cups of veggies, and then you have your morning IP and your snack bar in the afternoon, and that's a really easy way to travel. So if you guys have questions, please put them in the comments section. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get deep back today. If you are interested in all these great radish recipes, they will be featured in Monday's newsletter, and all you have to do is type in the word newsletter and you will be sent through Facebook Messenger the subscription. So if you are watching this in the replay, give us a hashtag replay, tell us where you're from, and we look forward to seeing you next week. We're here every Wednesday. All right, everybody, thank you so much, and see you next week.